Hey, what's up, everyone? I hope all is well with you. I'm Aiken Slawal, a data strategist, knowledge manager, and father who's always got his hands in something new. Welcome to Datalytic Concepts, where I share tactical and strategic insight on knowledge, age, principles, and fundamentals. I really appreciate all the feedback that you all have been providing on the videos. I'm glad you all are getting something out of them. But that being said, I realized that I never really addressed what knowledge management is and how organizations use knowledge management, KM, to improve operational effectiveness. Before we get into that, let's really break down knowledge. What is knowledge anyway? Knowledge is fundamentally different from data and information, but I think people confuse them. So that'll be a topic for another one of my videos. So let's just get into what knowledge is. Knowledge is the insight and understanding gained from experience. Let me say that again. Knowledge is the insight and understanding gained from experience. You might be familiar with making a cake, but you really don't understand the process of making a cake until you've baked the cake, right? That's a tongue twister right there. There are two primary types of knowledge, right? You have your tactic knowledge and your explicit knowledge. Tactic knowledge is the understanding and the ability to make the cake. And explicit knowledge is the recipe book for making the cake, right? So none of you are cooking like grandma, but imagine what food growing up would taste like if your mom or your dad didn't have that recipe book. So back to knowledge management. I'll define what it is, and I'll provide you with another scenario on why KM is vital to organizational performance. KM is the transformational discipline that optimizes humans and organizational performance to create high-performing learning organizations. What the hell is that? That's a lot, right? Unlike other organizational assets, knowledge is not always tangible, right? You can't touch, you can't feel it. So KM is the discipline that takes this intangible knowledge and provides organizations with the ability to make it actionable. When organizations invest in knowledge management initiatives, the ROI is sometimes measured in intangibles like findability of knowledge products that improve the performance of the workforce. This findability of knowledge products is what leads to the additional cost savings, the additional revenue that the company might, get in return. So if an organization is seeking to become a true learning organization, short, really has to get in front of its competitors by investing in a strategy for managing its knowledge assets, right? Okay, so back to the example I mentioned I would give earlier. Classic startup, you got two founders. These founders, they meet every day, they share ideas, knowledge is being transferred in a tacit manner via conversation back and forth. Before you know it, they've developed some capabilities and they soon start to offer services that they can now hire their first employee, right? Instead of meetings, they're communicating more and more collaboratively via email, via Zoom, via Teams, more different types of collaborative environments. The knowledge that they're sharing is becoming more explicit, more written down, more tangible, right? So 2 or 3 employees later, before you know it, they have 100 employees. And now they have standard operating procedures, they have learning guides, and they have business processes. So every time knowledge is needed to run a particular part of the business, the founders no longer have to have meetings to ensure that this knowledge is really being socialized by the team, right? You now have a team, or you have team members doing their jobs without the founders, right? So how do we get to this? We got to this because of a solid knowledge management strategy that includes socialization, externalization, combination, and internalization. That is the SEC model, the 4 modes of knowledge conversion. So this is how you create a learning organization. And that, my friends, we'll have to save for another video or conversation. It's just a lot to get into today. So if you enjoyed this content, if you're interested in learning more, I'd like to hear from you. What are your knowledge management questions? Drop a comment below, like, share, and until next time, everyone, peace.